Hello and good evening, or good night, I guess I should say. We're kind of past the evening point. We're at full-blown night here. Had to rearrange my schedule just a little bit for the evening, and so hopping on now to get a little paint time in, a little chit chat time in with y'all, let you know what's going on around the crafting table this week, what has been happening. And I got to tell you, it's been a little bit of everything. There's been a little bit of fall, a little bit of Halloween, a little bit of Christmas, uh, even, oh, I got to tell y'all, I got an app. And so, one thing I've wanted to do since I pretty much started the door hanger thing was do some designing and kind of come up with my own stuff. And so I have an app, and I am loving this app. So I have already done a few things. I did a fall, I did a business one, and I did a snowman for my daddy. So I am excited, and now I have one. I got today. A friend of mine called, and so I've got a Christmas one that I'm going to be doing some designing on. So I'm excited. Let us look and see what I have on my table this evening. I have a snow village. If you read the description, I have a snow village here in front of me, and so we're going to get started on our snow village. Going to, oh, I moved some of my stuff around, and so I'm like, what did I do in my egg carton? I hope y'all have had a good week. I know mine has been busy, trying to get things ready for paint parties, things like that, so trying to get a list made of supplies and purchase supplies and all that good stuff. So it has been a busy week as far as that goes. And for some reason, the program that I use has decided that it no longer likes the way I had the microphone set up. It's so I had to figure out a new microphone setup. So if it sounds different, that is why. I'm actually coming through the microphone that is here in this camera above my head. So I hope you can hear me okay. I feel like I need to be, up on the edge of my seat or something. And I noticed when I was recording my art lesson, it did better when I was working on the art lesson on the canvas, because when I talked, I guess it bounced. And so it seemed to do really well while I was teaching my art lesson. But when I was just talking to the students, my young artist, I noticed that it didn't sound the same. So I guess I'm getting a bounce off of whatever I'm working on, and that makes it a little better. So, oh, speaking of which, I need to change screens. Sounds fine. Thank you, Miss Marie. I'm glad you're hanging out with me. Had to rearrange the schedule a little bit this evening. But that's okay. I am here now. Working on a snow village. So just getting another coat of white. I base coated everything so that way my colors would stand out really well. And I'm not being extremely careful with the white because I'll be painting over a lot of it with color. So it doesn't matter if it gets on the trees or the houses or in the sky. Just want to make sure the snow is nice and white. Oh, real quick reminder, because I'm going to get focused on what I'm doing and forget to remind, I guess. Online paint party coming up a week from tomorrow, and tonight at midnight is the registration deadline. Throw that in there real quick before I forget. All right, so we have painted the snow. I still have a couple of places that look like it's just not, maybe it's just the way the light's hitting it. Sometimes these lights, even though they're needed for doing camera work and recording, sometimes they royally mess me up because I have trouble seeing what is and is not well covered. So, all right, so we're gonna put that in there. You know what? Timeout. I'm gonna grab my apron. I know where this is going, y'all. I can already see. I started at the bottom. I painted it white. I'm gonna have white all over my shirt. So we're just gonna go ahead and stop and put the apron on. That way I'll decorate my apron a little more instead of decorating my shirt. All right, I'm gonna move to the sky. Maybe I won't be off camera too bad. I can pull it down a little bit if I am. I have to kind of watch, glance up and look, and then jump back. So some of the things I have worked on this week, I actually did the magnolia and the fence door hanger. I did that as, I believe that was the spring challenge this past year. I did that. That was one that was ordered. I have done fall and Halloween, and goodness, I'm trying to think what else for the week that I have done other than, like I said, I have an app now that I'm doing some designing on, and that has been really cool. That's been something I've been wanting to do for probably the last year. It's probably about this time last year that I was like, man, you know, I'd really love to be able to sit down, and because I'd see things in the stores and I'm like, oh, I could take that and I could do this, and if I added this to it, that would make a really cool door hanger. And I just didn't have the means to do that. So I am excited that I do now. And I've actually signed up for a course to help me learn some more tips and tricks on it. So that way I will be even better. I will know all the little shortcuts and the ins and outs of the program, so that way I'll be faster. Better, faster. Maybe they go hand in hand. I've mentioned to my newsletter group, which is kind of like my VIP group, I've mentioned to them about some things coming up that I have not shared just with the general everybody. If that's even a way to word that. If you'd like to get on the newsletter, it goes out on Sunday night. Matter of fact, it may already be sitting in your inbox if you are in the newsletter, on the newsletter list. If you'd like to be on the newsletter list and get a heads up about what's going on before I share just on the general page, just type email me or email in the comments, and I will happily add you to my list and get you in the know about things that are coming up. All right, y'all, the other problem I am having here within the last couple of months, I don't know what has gone on, but in the last couple of months, I'm going to have to make an eye doctor appointment. Because my eyes have changed. Used to, the only time I needed glasses was, well, I've always needed glasses to drive, so I've worn glasses since I was in the 6th grade. Most of y'all don't know that. I've worn contacts since I guess around 2006, but the last time I went to the eye doctor, before all the COVID stuff started, I ended up with adding reading glasses, and so, but it was only when I was reading, you know, little things, small print and stuff like that. I didn't need it to do stuff like this. And now, all of a sudden, it's like a light switch has been flipped on, and I'm having to grab these glasses more and more. I'm like, maybe time to go visit the eye doctor and get checked. I'm behind schedule thanks to the pandemic and all. Should have already been. When you wear contacts, they want you to come often. But because we were all on stay at home for a while, I wasn't even wearing my contacts, so they just sat in the drawer back there in the solution, or in brand new in the box. So I didn't need my contacts. Now, what's crazy is my vision far off. This is what was wild. My out there vision has not changed in years. It's the same. But my reading vision undoubtedly is changing more rapidly than I, am really comfortable with. But that happens. That happens. Okay, I am going to get just a little bit of white. Come over here so you can see what I'm doing. Get just a little bit of white just on the end. And I'm going to not keep all of it on there. I'm going to dab some of it off on the side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm just going to kind of streak across in a few places. I'll do that one more time, because I don't want it to be super, super bunched together. Now, what I'm going to do is get a little bit of blue, not much, but just a little bit. And I'm just going to work on kind of blending that in so that I have some kind of light streaks across it. You can also get just a little bit of water on your brush, and that'll help to blend it in as well. And just feather light on the brush, feather light on the touch. And I just want a little bit, just here and there, just a little wisp of white, like what you would see maybe in the winter sky. Just kind of back and forth. And if you see it, if you look at it and you're thinking, yeah, I don't know, I don't really like that, then you just turn around and go back over it with your blue. Okay, I'm gonna keep working my way down. I started with the snow because of course it's the lightest color I have. And then I went to the sky and I did some on the clouds. I'm gonna look at it in a little bit and see what it's like. I may add a few more little wisp of clouds in there. But for right now I'm gonna let that sit. I'm gonna start and hit my trees and come down from there. And real quick, I want to check my example photo here just to see. Okay. Wanted to see how many trees I need to do green. I have a speck of blue in the midst of the white. How did I pull that off? There's no telling. I gotta tell y'all, I finished up. Was it my live last week? I'm trying to remember what I did last week. Or maybe I was doing one of the orders. Anyway, I got through and Charity, my daughter, says, Mama, she thought I had slung food on my face. And it wasn't, it was yellow paint. She's like, how did you do that? I'm like, don't ask. Just don't ask. I am talented in that realm of being able to do things that a lot of people aren't able to do. Choke on air, fall while I'm walking, trip while I'm walking. So trip on air, fall upstairs, you know. I'm very talented in that realm. So it's only fitting that, you know, that I get paint on me and can't remember or have no idea how it got there. This is called jeweled green. I like this color. Now I'm going to do a little bit of a I don't know whether to call it a go over or highlight, or I'm going to come back in just a minute and go over it with a darker color, just a little bit darker color. It's so funny because this time of year, you're finishing out some fall stuff, and you're doing the last little bit, which includes some Halloween stuff, but you're also getting Thanksgiving stuff, and you've already got folks that are doing Christmas stuff. And so I just realized I did the wrong tree there. All right. My goodness, my goodness. This is why we have baby wipes. What did I do the other day? I did something the other day. I painted it all wrong. I could not believe it. I was like, oh, I did not just do that. And I knew I wasn't supposed to do it. And I did it anyway. Okay. All better. I didn't do that. Y'all didn't see that. Pull my you know, my little hand thing. You saw nothing. Those of you who are fans, you know the reference I am making. I was four. I think I was 4 years old. When Star Wars first came out. The first one came out. Not when it first came out. The first one came out. I remember going with my cousins to watch it in a movie theater with my aunt and my cousins. That was the first non-cartoon movie that I ever saw in a movie theater. Well, I say non-cartoon. I'd seen the Muppet movies. What was it? The Great Muppet Caper, I think, was the first one that came out. And so it was kind of a thing. My aunt would take me and my brother, and we would go watch the Muppet movies on days that we were out of school and she had off. And so that was kind of a thing. We'd have a movie day from time to time. So that was pretty cool. All right, let's see. Yes, just making a check and make sure everything is still functioning. Okay, so I've got the jewel green. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit darker green. I'm not going to put a whole lot in here, just a little bit. And I'm going to water it down just a little, because I don't want it to overpower my jeweled green, and I still have some jeweled green in my brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of streak it on here in places and just give it a little bit of a, where it like has some shadows and some darker branches. And I got to get where I can see this one, because he is in, the light is reflecting off of him. Hopefully he, may have to work on him a little bit. Let's come to this one. I can see this one better. All right, now that may look weird right now. You may be thinking, what in the world? Just hang with me. Just hang with me. It'll all be clear in the end. I gotta get this where I can see everything. Okay. All right. Much better. Much better, much better, much better. All right, so those trees I'm gonna let dry, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on these two trees. Now, these two are gonna be a little bit of an interesting color. I think I'm gonna start with the darker pink first and see what we got. Now, normally we don't go from dark colors to light colors with our brushes because it usually creates problems. But I'm going to attempt to rinse this one out really well. I'll keep an eye on it. Maybe it will. Maybe I won't have any green bleed through. Every time I see a pink Christmas tree, I think of Charlie Brown and all of the aluminum trees when they go to the lot and how they thump them. I don't know what it is. Even if it's, looks like a real tree and it's decorated pink, I always think of Charlie Brown and the pink aluminum Christmas trees. Isn't it funny sometimes the things we hold on to from from when we were kids, things that we remember, things that stand out to us. Alright, so I'm finishing up my other pink tree here. Rinse my brush, and I have actually got another kind of pink. This one's carousel pink. This one is hard to find, and I love this color pink. And so I'm like, I guess I'm gonna have to get online and search and get it off a line. Get it offline, or get it, go buy it online. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'm just gonna streak some lighter pink in here. Uh-oh. Had some extra water in my brush. Dripped it on my my door hanger there. This color reminds me of a nail polish I had when I was younger. Gosh, it's all about like memory lane over here. Maybe I should have called this Snow Memory Lane or something instead of Snow Village. Well, actually, that's the name of the template is Snow Village, so I don't guess I could really get out of that, but okay, let's see. Where do we want to go to next? Do I want to start with my houses? Yeah, let's start with the houses because I actually have a house that I need to do a very similar color to the snowflakes that I'm going to do in the sky. So I'm going to start with this color, and I may go ahead and do my snowflakes. And they're not like major snowflakes. They're just cute little snowflakes. So I am going to get a round brush for this, and I am going, hopefully, a lot of times I'll do this with with a piece of chalk before I actually do this on the board, but we're gonna live on edge tonight. We're just gonna jump in here and go with it. All right, so we do crisscross applesauce. And I may have to come back and straighten them up a little bit. I actually did that one the wrong way, which is probably why it did not turn out exactly like I wanted it to. Alright, I'm gonna make this one just a little bit longer. There we go. Alright, and now I'm gonna do one over here. This time I'm gonna go from top down. Okay, and I'll tell you what, let's do one little one over here. Or a smaller one. He's not exactly little. Alright, I'm gonna dry all of this real quick before I stick my hand in one color and spread it all over the place. Y'all know I am prone to doing that. I'm gonna stick those on top of my head. So again, the online paint party a week from tomorrow. And registration ends at midnight tonight. And we're going to be doing the Winterland Soldier. All right, I'm going to go over these one more time. I know you're thinking, well, that's some odd looking snowflakes. Well, they're not finished yet. I'm just going over the legs of the snowflakes. Do snowflakes have legs? The points of the snowflakes, maybe that's what I'm trying to say. And then I'm going to add some circles on the end. Actually could have turned and made them slant just a little bit. I didn't think about it. I see if I had drawn it out with chalk, then I would have looked at it and gone, oh, you know what I ought to do? I ought to change this around and make it, you know, where the main one is not at the top, and I would have changed it. See, sometimes it is a good thing to plan things out. All right, last little snowflake here. These aren't going to be our only snowflakes. All right, I'm not going to go too far with that because I don't know, this might not be the best brush. Well, here. It will be the best brush. Try that again. Try saying that 5 times fast. Best brush. I'm going to go ahead and do the windows with this one because with the smaller round brush, it'll make it a lot easier to get into all these little corners without having to be so careful with a flat brush. Okay. You know what? I'll do one more thing with this color while I've got it. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm actually putting stripes on the roof of this little house. So I'm gonna duck out wrong one. I'm gonna duck out of camera here for just a second so that way that way I can get this stripe down here without having to get my hand to cover it up. If I keep my hand out of the way, then I have to move my body out of the way. Okay, there we go. All right, let's see. Where do I want to go to next? Let's do the watermelon color. And you might be thinking, watermelon? Yeah, watermelon. You haven't ever heard of watermelon in the wintertime? Me either. Me either. Okay, we are going to do the roof of this one in watermelon. I think the bright colors are really cool for one like this, but I also think it would be really cool to do one in the in a red and white theme, red, white, and green, and so that way it's more of the traditional kind of Christmas colors. So like all the houses would be maybe red, green, red, and maybe the roofs would be striped like candy canes with red and white. And I'm going to do this house. See if I can move him over a little bit so you can see. And do this house in the watermelon color too. And then how about we do this door in watermelon? Should have grabbed a round brush. It's not that the brush is really too big, it's just when you get to the edges, it kind of becomes challenging. Okay, now, the roof of that one, ooh. I could do the roof of that one in this pink. And then I throw my brush on the floor. Okay. Try this again. All right, so I'm going to do the roof of this one in the pink that I started with on the Christmas trees. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stripe this one white. All right, so there's our cute pink little roof. And I could even take just a little bit and go over, and it could have a kind of a in-between colored door in between the trees, the roof, and the red one, the watermelon color of these two. I kind of like that. We'll go with that. Okay, this one, this little house here, he is going to be the same color blue as my snowflakes. And it's probably going to take a couple of coats for him, so we'll get him started. Coming up pretty soon, I will be doing a reveal and open ordering for the Paint Party Box Christmas edition. If you remember last year, I did that, and what it is it's a winter themed door hanger, and you can give it as a gift to the crafty person on your list, or I do a special price on that one so that it fits within a lot of the Christmas gift range for Christmas parties, for exchanging gifts. So that will be coming up very soon. Let's see, what am I missing here? I feel like I'm missing something. I'm gonna blow dry this real quick, or yeah, dry this real quick, and then we will put another coat of the blue. And we will, I'm looking around, I just realized I did not get my, the color I wanted for the letters. Thankfully it's not too far. I'm gonna have to go over that red again. Gotta go over the blue for sure. And the pink. Okay. Alright, so let's start with the blue since I've got it on my brush. And we'll put another coat of blue here. We'll get these three colors, their second coat, and then we'll move on. This one's called Laguna. This one and, well, the peacock teal is has a little more green to it. But both of those are really pretty colors to me. I have yet to buy the one that they call Mermaid, but I've seen it and it's pretty too. I like it. Or maybe it's Mermaid Tail. I can't remember. I think it's Mermaid Tail. But it's really pretty. I like it too. Getting more paint where it doesn't belong. Get our mess cleaned up. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go back over this window, and yes, I did it with a round brush, but I'm not gonna go right up to the edge. I'm just gonna cover it in the middle part here. Get close to the edge, but not too close. Same here, I'm just gonna kind of go over it in the middle section. And that way it's got two coats. All right. Oh, I forgot. Not done with that brush yet. Need to go over this roof one more time. There we go. And I need to get my watermelon color. I'll go over this roof one more time, and also this little house on the side over here. Another thing I miss about not being able to use my earpieces for the for the sound part, and I don't know why. I did an update, and when I did the update for the program that I use for going live, all of a sudden my earpieces wouldn't work. And so I'm like, oh, that's just lovely. And course, you know, when you sit down to do something and you're expecting the technology to work and then the technology doesn't work, everything just goes into a Monday tailspin. And it wasn't even Monday. It was halfway through the week, I think. So, you know, just one of those things. I just realized, oh goody. I was like, I didn't grab I really thought I went through all of my paint colors. I did not grab the dark brown, which is what I need for the tree trunks. It's chocolate brown. I love chocolate brown on so many things. I'm gonna grab my round brush for this one because most of these trunks are smaller. So I'm just gonna use a round brush. I forgot a while ago that I had taken these off. Getting into fine details, I got to be able to get it where I can see it. I love the chocolate brown color. The only thing that I fuss about it with, is sometimes it'll take 3 coats, depending upon what it is. Sometimes I can get away with 2. Most of the time I have to do 3. Alright, that is still wet, so I'm going to go down here and work on this one. I keep thinking there was one other thing that I wanted to talk about, and I always keep little notes to remind me, and undoubtedly I didn't make a note for it because it's not with my other notes. We've talked about the online paint party. We've talked about the paint party box. Seems like there was something else. I do have a new project I'm working on, and I'm not ready to go into major details about it yet. Again, if you're on my email list, you are going to find out more details tonight or tomorrow whenever you open your email, because I do talk about it with the email. I call them my VIP group. So I do talk about it some there. So if you're on the email list, then you've got information in your inbox about my new project. Just generally on the Facebook page and all, I'm going to wait until I have some things ready to show before I really get into talking about it. It's so funny because sometimes people will say, well, are you just doing one thing? Are you going to just, narrow it down to one thing? And I'm thinking, it's really hard for a crafty person to narrow down to one thing, because there's always something going on that you see and you go, oh, I want to try that. That's how I ended up doing door hangers. I watched, had this lady pop up in my Facebook feed, and I watched her paint a door hanger, and I thought, cool, I might could do that. And then the next thing you know, I didn't just go buy a piece of wood. I bought a jigsaw and a scroll saw. I wished I could have recorded the look on my husband's face when I walked in and said, "Can I get a jigsaw?" He looked at me, he goes, "What? What do you want a jigsaw for?" "To cut stuff out, you know." He's like, "Okay." I'm like, "I guess." He was not real sure. Hey, the color's starting to bring it all into view now. Got a few more things to add. Oh, I forgot to color the chimney. Aww. Phooey. We'll get it. We shall get it before I rinse. Nope, not that one. This one. Before I rinse this one too much. Let's get the chimney. Wipe off a little of the excess water. Get the chimney painted brown. And then we're going to finish out the houses and move on to our deer. There's actually some deer here. I don't know if you can see them or not. I'll show you where they're hiding in just a minute. Brown is one of those colors that if you play with it too much when it's wet, next thing you know, you will be playing the touch-up game. All right, where did my... Oh, here we are. This is the other one that I wanted. While the chimney is drying from its first coat, I'll go ahead and get a coat of this brown. On the little deer that's here in the village. Checking out everything. I did it again, y'all. This one's just a baby. Just checking everything out. But don't worry. Mama's not far. Mama's keeping an eye out. So here she is up on the hill, keeping tabs on the curiosity of the little one, on her curious little one. They have such tiny legs. a minute I thought this round wasn't going to work. I was like, I have to get a smaller round. That's okay. I got on the very tip end for this little guy down here and got his legs done. So I'm going to do the same for this one. Just pull way down, put my hand way down on the barrel of the paintbrush in the metal part. That way it'll lightly, the tip end will just lightly touch my board here. I'm so used to saying canvas with the art club that I almost said the canvas. It's funny the habits we get into. Alright, so one more coat on these guys. Try to even everything out. It's so tiny, it's a little hard to get my brush strokes even. I end up kind of tapping more than actually getting the paintbrush to move across the board here. And the mama one, the way she's situated, it's kind of hard to see her in the light sometimes. Past few mornings, or yesterday morning and this morning, temperatures have been nice early on, but it has not taken long to feel like you are thrown back in the summertime. We've had a bug, a little bug make its way in when the door was open for the dog to go out a while ago. Why it is that bugs like my painting, I don't know. Kind of has me a little worried, you know. What message are they sending by hanging around? Okay, I'm going to rinse this and go back to the tree trunks real quick. See if we can finish up our snow village here. For a minute I thought I stuck my hand in the paint of the little deer, but I think I'm okay. Oh no, it wasn't the tree trunks, it was the chimney. Oh well, the tree trunks got a third coat. I thought they looked awfully good. I was like, man, I don't remember that first coat looking that good. It was the chimney that I did. Since I've already done a third coat on the others, I will go ahead and add it on these two as well. And that way everybody is, you know, all even Steven. All right, moving on to the last of the houses. I'm going to put just a little bit here in the lid rather than, because I don't need a whole lot. This one's called Marigold. Let's see if I can, use this round brush for him as well. It'll take just a little bit longer, but I'll get around the window much faster with the little round brush than I would the flat brush or even the filbert tip brush. This is a different, it's not a different brand, it's just a different series from the brand, but it is called a patio paint, and it's so funny because the patio paint colors are a little bit different from the regular acrylic paint colors. This is a more gold color, and I used this on the Winterland Soldier. I think I also used it on my Happy Thanksgiving turkey that I did. If I'm not mistaken, I put it on there as well. It's more of a gold, and the regular paint version of Marigold has kind of a, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of brown mustard. We're going to paint this door yellow, or marigold. And let's see. I splattered some marigold on my blue. Get that up real quick. Okay. All right, that's going to be the same color. This is going to be white. I need to put another coat of white on him. So, get my brush clean, and while I've got the white here and it's still usable, darken up the door a little bit. And I am going to jump right in. I'm not going to rinse my brush. I'm just going to grab some of the pink that I used to highlight these trees. And I'm going to put it right here on this portion of this house. Just the little, I guess it's like the eave of the house. Okay. Now, last thing is this roof and those letters, and I am going to do them in, no, not a deep burgundy. No, not cherry red. Well, I thought my color was right here. Oh, here it is. Crimson. Yeah, we're going to do that in crimson. I'm going to set that right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my round brush again. Round brush has been popular tonight. I don't know that I've used a round brush this much on any one door hanger. Now you might be thinking, why didn't you paint that crimson before you put the blue stripes on there? Well, The thing about the blue stripes, this particular blue and the crimson being darker, probably would have looked more purplish rather than the pretty blue that it is. So, yes, it takes a few more minutes, or a little bit more time, maybe not minutes, but it does take a little bit more time. But I have the true colors by doing it this way, rather than having a kind of purpley color. Little scallops on this roof, that's cute. I didn't even notice that. Alright, while that is drying, I am going to flip this around. I know that may seem a little odd. I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to start backwards. So, get my lettering done. And then all I'll have left to do is do a little bit, actually I may have jumped the gun on my lettering. I think I did. I had one more thing to do before I did my letters. One more thing to do before I did my letters. Okay, let's back up. Flipping back around this way. Okay. And take my white. I'm going to dip this in use my round brush. Just add some snow covering. To my tree here. To all my little trees. I'm going to do some on the pink as well. Just a little bit of snow, maybe just on one side of this one. Maybe this one's got different shaped branches since it's pink, and so the snow falls a little different. Just add a few more of my little snow clusters. I guess would be a good thing to call them, where they just kind of collect up on the branches of the trees. And then on our other pink tree, just adding some details. Then we're going to do one more thing before I go back to my letters. All right, all of our trees done. Yeah, let's put a little bit of snow on top of him. He's gonna be jealous. He's the only one without snow on top. All right, now. Oh. I'm gonna do some touch up here real quick. Had a little bit of blue come over, which, I mean, I've got to do my outlining and highlights, and so some of this will be covered up, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to go ahead and help with that just a little bit and make sure it gets covered up really well. All right. Now then, what I want to do, dip that in some water, a little bit off the edge there. I'm gonna set this off to the side just for a minute. I'm gonna get my big brush dry. What we're gonna do, I am just going to, I'll start with some small splatters. Well, that one wasn't so small, but that's okay. Start with some small, and then we may change brushes and do something bigger. But I wanted to have all kinds of different sizes. And I think my white is getting just a little bit, yeah, it's starting to get thick. That's why it's not doing exactly what I want it to do. That's okay. That looks better. I started with the white, so it's been sitting here a little while. I was a little bit afraid of that. Let's see how that does. Oh yeah, there we go. Just needed a little touch of water to loosen it up. All right, let's see here. We're gonna get some more over here. And some more up here. Maybe we'll put uh-oh, that we didn't want. Maybe we'll put a few on the roof. Like it just started falling. I don't want too many on the roof. A few are okay. That's like in the trees. I really don't want a whole lot in the trees. I want it mostly in the sky. And then I do want to change, let's see. Now I may be running out of paint. Oh no, there we go. It was on the edge. All right, let's see how we can get some bigger ones. Yep. Nope, I may need some more water. Yep. All right, a little bit more water. I've gotten down to the bottom of what was left, and I don't like to waste paint. It's still usable. I'll be finding paint on me and everywhere else for the next 3 days. I got a little too close on that one. He ended up being more like a silly string line than snow. Okay, we'll leave him like that. Okay, all right, there we go. Now, back to my lettering. Take a time out to fix my boo-boo. And I'm going to get the snow off of the letters so that way I'm just putting my crimson color on there. Go back over this one. Now the only thing is I just realized I'm going to stick my hand in the snowflakes and then I'm going to end up smearing them, so we'll stop for just a second and blow this dry. And I could come back later and actually put some little dots, and that way it, matter of fact, I may do that with a paint pen, because the paint pen will actually make a really nice, like, big dot snowflake. So we will do a variety. We'll do some splatters, which I just got through with, and we'll do some just dots. Maybe. Oh, I got splatter all over my all over my dryer. I told y'all I'll be finding splatter everywhere for the next few days. That reminds me of a cake that I did one time. Yes, I have decorated a few cakes. I told you, crafty people will try basically anything. I'm like, ooh, something new, let's try it. So I was decorating this cake, and I had to use blue food coloring, but it wasn't, I needed to get it the dark blue, the school color, because it had to do with a graduation, and the school color was like navy blue basically, and of course I couldn't get it dark enough to be navy blue, but I got it as close as I could. It was crazy because somehow or another, oh, I know what it was. I sprayed with the spray coloring, the food coloring you can get in a spray can. I don't know, you may not know you can do that. I have used it more than once. It's really cool. It's very neat on cupcakes because you don't have to worry about mixing it all into the icing. You just icing your cupcakes and then you spray the color on, and it kind of gives it almost like an airbrush look. So I was using this on part of the cake I was doing. Well, the spray from that spray on food coloring, it was probably 2 or 3 years later, I was cleaning, like deep cleaning, you know, pull things out, get behind things, and I went behind, I can't remember what it was now, maybe it was the back of my stove or something. Anyway, I I wiped down behind it, and when I brought the cleaning wipe out, it was blue. Where the spray had gotten behind somehow the oven, my stove, and I guess it was on the back part. May have, I didn't see it on the wall, but that doesn't mean that the spray didn't get there, because it was just, I didn't know it was there. Yeah, I mean, it's not like you could see it until you wiped it off. It didn't like clump up, it was just this light mist. There's the dot for the eye. I almost missed it. I actually saw that after I got the door hanger. I actually saw that little dot and I thought, oh, it cut something that doesn't belong there. It does belong there. It's the dot that goes on the eye. I gotta tell y'all, I don't do the splatter much just because of the way it gets all over everything. But I really like this with the splatter on it. I've done things where I've just dotted around and made, used different brushes and different paint pens and made different size dots. But I really like the way the splatter looks on this. I got a snow globe piece that I'm going to be painting soon. Maybe I'll use the splatter on it too. Even though I may go outside for that. I'm kind of looking around. There's a little bit on my jar, and the bottles of paint I'm not worried about, but I'm like, okay, is it on, is it on anything that it doesn't need to be on? Okay, so one word down and one word to go. And then we're gonna outline, and I'll finish up the fine details. I want to get the outline done so that way you can at least see what it looks like with everything truly defined, because the outline helps to define all the different shapes. You can see it with the different colors, but I like it with the outline so that way it really breaks it up. All right, almost there. Just a few more letters. Go back over that one because I didn't have that much paint in the brush, and so it did not cover really well. This round is working really, really, really well for this particular size font that was used on this one. Or the size of the lettering. Either I'm really bad at picking brushes for lettering, or maybe I just don't have enough brushes. If you could see my little canister here full of brushes, you'd be like, Sandy. Oh, goodness. That was our dog. That was not me. Periodically, I don't know, we always ask him, did you have a bone in your water? He'll, like, get a little spot in his throat there. Okay. All right, I'm going to turn this back around. And set that off to the side for a minute. And what I'm going to do is I am going to get the black paint pen first. And go around a few things, add a few details. Just go around our Christmas trees. What is it, buddy? Our dog is so funny. It gets to a certain time of night and he is ready for bed. It doesn't matter what's going on, like a Facebook Live. He's ready for bed. I got on the wrong side of that one. And I just realized I should have been using white. So we've got part with black and part with white. Actually, I don't like the white there. The white will show up pretty neat on the, like around the windows and stuff. Of course, it helps if it's primed well. Let's try it again. There we go, that's better. But I still, like even there, I don't like the way the white looks on that. I don't know why, I just don't. Alright, we're gonna go around this one with white. And we'll go around this one with white. But I'm gonna go around the building, the little houses themselves with black. I just like the way that looks better. Go back to my black one. And you don't have to outline, you could just leave them just painted and go with it like that. I've just always liked the definition that it creates. So I'm going to come down there, and then I'll go around this little tree. Then I'm going to come up here to this guy. I think I'm going to go back and maybe do a little bit of, maybe a little more, maybe some shadowing on the hills. Not on the live, I'll do that off and then show that to y'all in the pictures. You can see the shading and stuff that I added to the snow. This part I did want to get done, so that way you can see what it looks like with everything traced out where you can see it. Come around and down. And I forgot to do this window, the center part of it, in white. Oh, and I said I was going to do some, okay, here. I'm just going to add a few of these, and then I have got a big white. Try to add some of these bigger ones where they didn't, some big ones didn't really splatter too well. I've got some big ones that splatter. There's some pretty big chunks here and there. All right, now I have a bigger white. Let's see, where are you? There you are. I have a bigger white one that I can make some bigger, big chunky flakes like that. I don't want to go overboard with the big chunky flakes, but as I'm putting down number 745. No, just kidding. But just add a few here and there. So that way I've just got a big variety of snowflakes on my snow village. All right, well, I am going to do some shadow stuff here probably tomorrow and finish it out, and then I will post a picture of it finished with the shading. Now, if you're wondering what in the world I'm doing by turning it upside down, I do my time-lapse videos, and so I wanted to get a shot of it turned where they could see, where the time-lapse video could see it, and then I'll turn it back around for y'all. All right, so there's the Happy Holidays. What I'm going to do to finish it up is I'm going to put a little shading here in the hills, and so that way you can kind of define where the snow hills are. And also I'm going to do a border around, and so I will get that finished out, and I think that's all I have to do there, and it will be all finished up. So there is the Snow Village. I hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me. I know it was a little bit later tonight, but I had some things that had to get accomplished, and so we took care of those. Just moved it to 8:30, which is a little bit later, but I know a lot of y'all catch it on the replay throughout the week. So just comment hi to me, and even if you're watching the replay, just put hashtag replay so I'll know you're watching it on the replay. And I appreciate y'all so much hanging out with me and watching me do the Snow Village. And just keep in mind that still doing some fall stuff if you still need something for fall. Also, the Paint Party Box Christmas Edition, going to be revealing that pretty soon, so that will be available for uh, Christmas parties and Christmas gifts. And then there was one more thing I was gonna say, and when I fudged that up, I completely forgot what it was. Oh well. I hope y'all have a great week, and that you get a good night's sleep. I think I'm gonna close up shop for the night and kind of head that direction myself. So y'all have a good one. Thanks so much for watching.